If you've been watching my channel for some time now, then you more than likely know who the Globebusters are. You know, that team that inadvertently proved the globe when they were trying to prove it's flat. Gets me every time, that one. Well, in an audacious attempt to be them, I found a channel called Spacebusters.
And how did the perfectly circular impact craters always facing the Earth get there? I cannot wait to hear you wriggle out of this one. Spacebusters, the channel that makes you think for yourselves.
Not only am I going to wiggle out of it, but I'm also going to make them look like blithering idiots at the same time. This is Tinfoil Tuesday. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Yes, as I said, that opening clip was from channel Spacebusters and the video was called Questions for NASA Fanboys number 2. Well, I am a NASA fanboy, so let's get this show on the road.
For question number 2, we are going to stick with our old friend, the Moon. NASA tells us that we always see the same side or face of the Moon because it is locked into synchronous rotation with the Earth.
Correct. Good start.
Just another one of those wonderful coincidences, like the Moon and the Sun having exactly the same angular size as each other so the eclipses can happen.
Actually, the angular sizes do change slightly, which is why we get something called annular eclipses. When the Moon's angular size is smaller due to it being close to its furthest point from Earth, it doesn't completely cover the Sun and leaves the Sun's outer edges visible. This is called an annular eclipse.
They also tell us that the Moon is covered with impact craters from gazillions of years of bombardment by all sorts of cosmic junk. As our own eyes show us, meteors, meteorites, shooting stars, and other celestial events in the night sky come from all different angles. For an impact crater to be perfectly round, the impact object has to hit perpendicular to the surface. If it doesn't, then the crater is elongated.
Our survey said...
The study of craters and the impact process is a complex one, but fortunately I have actually studied this, and his statement proves that he clearly hasn't. Experiments have shown that elliptical craters are formed only at angles of incidence less than 10 degrees, which obviously is going to be a rare occurrence. This is down to the instantaneous release of energy caused by a hypervelocity impact, rather than the actual physical distortion of the surface.
This can be adequately demonstrated by dropping a pebble onto sand. Let it drop and it will make a circle. Throw it at an angle and it will make an elongated mark. Strangely enough, all the craters on the Moon are circles.
You've just said that all the Moon's craters are circles, and there's a ruddy big elongated one in the middle of your picture. That is tragically embarrassing, but in case you weren't sure, here's a picture of another one. And another one. And another one.
Therefore, we have to assume that all of the impacts came from a 90-degree angle, perpendicular to the surface. This is possible, however, highly improbable.
Except it doesn't need to come in at 90 degrees to be circular, does it?
But what about all the craters that are constantly facing Earth? Where the hell did those meteorites come from? Did they go around the Earth before they reached the Moon? Did they go through the Earth by some magical means? Is there some guy somewhere on Earth taking pot shots at the Moon with a big gun?
Well, as we could have them coming in from any angle down to about 10 degrees, I think that gives us plenty of opportunity and space for the impact craters that we see to form.
I once heard someone suggest that the craters were formed by escaping gas from the Moon's core. I mean, really, NASA, How can you explain this one? For one, the chances of every meteorite hitting the moon perfectly perpendicular is about as likely as Brexit happening or Bill Gates taking one of his own vaccines.
I don't like people having a pop at Bill Gates. The man has saved millions of lives and gives huge chunks of his fortunes to others in need. Really not on.
And how did the perfectly circular impact craters always facing the Earth get there? I cannot wait to hear you wriggle out of this one. Spacebusters, the channel that makes you think for yourselves.
And a channel that has a better understanding of the bottom of a biscuit bin than it does about the natural world. Well, that brings this episode of Tinfoil Tuesday to a close quite nicely. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. My name is Simon Dan. Have yourselves a fantastic week, and I'll see you all on Friday for one of the most intellectually dishonest flat earthers you've ever seen. Either that, or he really doesn't understand anything. Until then.